All right, it looks like we are live. Testing 1, 2, 3. Looks like the audio is working. Hello, everybody. And Sergeant Slaughter's Slaughterhouse is watching from the slaughterhouse, and I just so happen to be wearing my autographed Sergeant Slaughter t-shirt. Yes. Hello, Lazarus on Cobra Island, and Bubble Wrap Memories and Sparkster, MCDJ, ACDC, and Nyquist and Peter Ang. How do you do? Graf and Mal and Bushcraft, hello. Thank you, everyone, for joining. It's been a little while since I did a live stream, so I wanted to sneeze on camera. How about that? I wanted to get back to it. Excuse me. I wanted to get back to it and see you guys. Kevin Haynes says good morning from Ireland. Good morning, Ireland, from the United States. Hey, it's Cujo. Hey, Cujo. Nice to see you, and the Killer Weezer, and Steven Stiles. Semper Fi, nice to see you there, and Jeff Ball, John Ulrich. Oh, good. I'm glad you liked the Sergeant Slaughter Super Review. I wanted to start with something big for the year, and that was the biggest I could think of. So there you go. Hello, Tony Jackson. Nice to see you. Hey, SEO Toy Review. Hey, thank you for joining. It's nice to see you. Chien and Kun. I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing that, but bless you too. Thank you very much. Hey, it's Rob Irizarry. We have Rob Irizarry in the house. How do you do? And Rob M. We got Rob Vegas, Rob M, and Rob Irizarry. We have all the Robs. All the Robs are present. We have been robbed. Thank you, K Share. Thank you very much. I do want to get back to the comic book reviews as soon as I can. It always seems to be a challenge with everything else I have going on. But it is something I would like to do as soon as I can. Hello, Matt Edwards, an action figure expert. I'm doing all right today. Thanks for asking. Mike Layton, Eric Gullinger. Gang's all here. Fire Crotch. How do you do? So thanks everyone for showing up. I just wanted to do a live stream. I just hadn't done one for a while, and I just really felt like doing one. So I missed you guys, and I wanted to say hey. Oh, hey, Cobra Island's COVID-19 was a false positive. All right, good job. Way to be negative. All right. I'm glad. I'm glad that you're not having to deal with that, because that is a scary thing. Oh, okay, and there's another Rob. So we got all the Robs here. We are robbed out. Hello, JLS Comics. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining. I'm glad to be here. It had just been too long since I've done a live stream, and I just really wanted to do one. I thought we would sit and just chat for a little while, just chill out and hang out for a little while. And then maybe at the bottom half of the show, we can have story time. I picked this out because I don't... Let's see, maybe we have read this one. Let's see. I'm not sure if we've read this one or not, but I figure why not? We can always try it again. So I'm going with Operation Star Raider. Because it has Blowtorch and Roadblock on it. I thought the artwork was pretty good. I like the artwork on these books. The artwork on the books are pretty cool. Yeah. What do you guys? What you up to? What you doing? What you collecting? Have you picked up anything cool lately? Um, that's right. Valaverse Action Force has a Sergeant Slaughter figure coming up. Hang on, I've got to get something. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves just for a moment. I'll be right back. That's okay. And I'm back. All right. So, um, uh, Bubble Wrap Memories says, "What books do I have? I have a few that I would be willing to send you and have read by you. I don't know. I'd have to check to see which. I assume you're talking about the Find Your Fate books, but I'd have to check. I don't remember exactly which ones I'm missing, but I will check. Just not at this moment, but I'll check on that for you. Um, so. Sparkster had Kingdom Cyclonus delivered. Have a new Studio Series figure for my channel's 5th anniversary. Happy anniversary. Happy 5th anniversary, Sparkster. Congratulations on making it for 5 years. That's awesome. And we're Gaz. Hey, Gaz made it. Hello, Gaz. Nice to see you. And Matt says he got a retro roadblock because didn't have him in a 4-inch collection. Yeah, the retro series, as we know by now, is not a 3 3/4 inch series. It's 4-inch figures, so they're modern construction. So that's one reason why I'm not picking them up, because I don't really collect modern. The Killer Weezer sends a super chat. He says, would you sell your collection if money was tight? I had to because of truck repairs. It hurt to let them go. I guess if money were that tight, I would have to do what I got to do. You always got to take care of your responsibilities first, right? Real world responsibilities, they've got to take precedence over toys. So, yeah, it does hurt to let that go, Killer Weezer. I understand. But I think you did the right thing, taking care of your responsibilities, even though it meant sacrificing some toys. So, well done, sir. Much respect. But I understand how difficult that can be. Nathaniel says, I hope you do reviews of Lady J and Flint, and what do you think about the G.I. Joe Hall of Fame, and please do a review of the Cobra Commander Hall of Fame version. The Hall of Fame figures, I have, I guess, what you could call a love-hate relationship with the Hall of Fame figures. On the one hand, Hall of Fame harkens back to the early days of 12-inch G.I. Joe. And I like that connection to G.I. Joe's history and roots. On the other hand, their articulation leaves much to be desired. And that is my big frustration with the Hall of Fame figures, is the articulation. Those classic 12-inch figures from the 60s and 70s, they had great articulation. In comparison, the Hall of Fame figures are almost mannequins. Let's see. Rob M says, found a classified roadblock and retro Snake Eyes on a clearance aisle at a local Walmart a week ago. $6.15 for roadblock, $7.90. Well, those are really good prices. I also think it's interesting that they're turning up on clearance, because around here where I am, you still can't find them. You can't find them anywhere. They still sell out as soon as they hit the shelves or the pegs. So I guess in some areas they are going on clearance, and in other areas they are selling like crazy. Yeah, that's interesting to see just the difference. Sparkster's reviewing a Studio Megatron. Okay, that's cool. Hey, James, aka Ratface, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. Other than Cobra Commander and the 1964 original, do you have any many 12-inch shows? I don't have a lot of them, but I have Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, and Stalker from the Hall of Fame line. And I wouldn't be opposed to getting more Hall of Fame if I can get them at a decent price. SEO Toy Review says retro vehicles are the only things I've seen. And I've really just only seen the Hiss tank lately. And the last time I checked, even the Hiss tank was sold out. So at least in this area, it doesn't, not to say everywhere, but at least in the area where I live, the retro stuff is flying off the shelves. The classified stuff still flying off the shelves. They can't keep them in. Whereas in other places, they're going on clearance. So hopefully you guys are not feeling the need to pay scalpers for inflated prices. Matt Rubin sends a super chat. Says a lot of Walmarts are changing their planograms and taking G.I. Joe out. Probably because they don't have enough in stock to keep the pegs full. That makes a lot of sense, because if I were a big retailer like that, I would not want to have empty pegs for extended periods of time, and that's exactly what you have. Yeah, you go and you find empty pegs, and I have to admit that constantly finding empty pegs at retail has somewhat killed my enthusiasm for the classified line. I like the figures themselves, but I'm not enjoying hunting the figures and constantly finding nothing. That is not very fun to me and is become a little bit frustrating. Matt Edwards says the Walmart by my house is filled to brim with Hiss tanks and Awe Strikers. Well, that's cool because you can't find them around here. Impossible to find around here. So we'll just say that Hasbro's distribution is a little uneven. Let's just. I think we can say that it's a bit uneven. Empty pegs should be a G.I. Joe code name. Thank you, JLS Comics. Yes, yeah, new code name Empty Pegs. MC DJ ACDC says, I read the first wave of Classified are now discontinued. That may be true, except they did a recolor and a refresh on Duke and Scarlet. I think it's just Duke and Scarlet. And I heard that there was a refresh on Snake Eyes as well. So they're getting... some of the first wave are getting reissued with some very minor color differences. Hello, Small Town Machine Shop. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Hey, it's Leah. How do you do, Leah? Nice to see you as well. Mal says Hasbro needs to cut it with the exclusive stores. Well, those exclusives are what kind of did me in. I was able to get all of the first wave of Target exclusives, but it was such a hassle and it was so not fun that that I just didn't want to do it again. When they decided to release even more exclusives, I was just like, this is just not my bag. I don't. It is not fun to me to have to run around to 5 or 6 Targets in a day. Hunting figures and mostly coming up empty. That is not enjoyable to me. I don't. Maybe somebody else likes that, but that's not fun to me. Being at Target at the crack of dawn when they open, not fun for me. Just personally, not fun. Is there a repaint of Roadblock 2? I didn't remember that. Hello, what's on Joe Mine? The Seeing Cats are scheduled for the back half of the show. Last half of the show, there will be Seeing Cats. Cobra Island says, I got the Retro His Tank at Walmart and Retro Snake Eyes Baroness Destro Roadblock from a small local shop down the street from my house. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. At least you got them. If those are what you're looking for, I'm glad you got them. Yes, What's on Joe Mind is in the house. Hey, and this is a good time to have a reminder that What's on Joe Mind is trying to reach 500 subscribers. So make sure you go to What's on Joe Mind on the YouTubes, abbreviated WOJM, and make sure to subscribe to their YouTube channel. Hold on, my phone's buzzing. Who buzzing me? Hold on. Sorry, folks. Just a little behind the scenes. So, anyway, sorry, pardon me. I'm back. Today is also Tuesday, which means that today is the day that Timmer on Half the Battle uploads his video, and he did a video on the animated series episode Computer Complications. For those of you that don't remember, that is the episode where Mainframe and Zarana kind of fell in love, and they got together, so to speak. Cobra Island says he's reaching for 150 subscribers. Good luck to you as well, Cobra Island. And no, I have not heard from Green Yeti lately. I'm sure he's busy doing the things that somebody would normally be doing, but I have not heard from him lately. Matt Edwards has subscribed to What's on Joe Mind. Let me talk up What's on Joe Mind a little bit. What's on Joe Mind, originating as a podcast, is the longest currently running G.I. Joe fan podcast that there is. They have an enormous back catalog of amazing episodes with lots of interviews with insiders in G.I. Joe, lots of insight into the history of the fandom. So if you really want an inside look at kind of the fan experience of G.I. Joe, going back quite a number of years, make sure you check out What's on Joe Mind. What's on Joe Mind is now on YouTube. So they're trying to build their YouTube channel. So make sure you check out What's on Joe Mind. Lots of great G.I. Joe history with those guys. So, and I love the show and I never miss it. So yeah, there you go. Yes, he's doing Green Yeti things. Anyway, so also thank you, Matthew Comstock. We're getting them closer. We're getting them closer to that milestone. And I was I was on a recent live stream with Jay and Rob and their toy show. So I tried to provide links. I shared links for that. I was on that yesterday, so make sure you check that out. The links should still be in my my social medias. So you check out their show as well. Just check out all the shows. Make sure you don't miss any of the shows. Don't forget SEO Toy Review, who's here with us in the house right now. Let's not forget Codename New2 Vero 2, who also has a YouTube channel. We've got a fair amount of the creative G.I. Joe community with us right now. So yeah. I wasn't expecting to do a commercial for everybody, but there you go. Let's not forget Cujo as part of G.I. Joeberg, another long-running G.I. Joe fan podcast, and a bunch of great guys that I got to meet at JoeCon a few years ago. So nice to see you. Don't forget GI Joe Berg. James says you pre-ordered Flint, Lady J, Two Troopers, and Zartan. I did pre-order Zartan, and I think that's the only one that I pre-ordered. So yeah, I'm not going all in on this next wave of classified. If I find some at retail, yeah, that's good. But I'm not. I can't make myself go out of the way to pre-order or to hunt them down. So. Oh yes, let's see. What's on Joe Mind says, thank you to everyone who's subscribed. Remember, we're giving away Classified Cobra Commander and Gung Ho when they hit 500 subscribers. So they're doing a giveaway. Don't forget that they're giving away stuff. So make sure you subscribe so so you can get some free stuff, or at least have a chance at getting some free stuff. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Cobra Island, also on YouTube. All of this talk about, hello, Brandon Knight. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining. Thanks also, Richard Ye. Thank you. I'm glad you liked the Sergeant Slaughter review. Thank you very much. And I am wearing my Sergeant Slaughter t-shirt. Anyway, it's put me in the mind. All this talk about the community has put me in the mind of Cobra Convergence, which we will have to we'll have to get that started. There's got to be a Cobra Convergence this year. It's still several months off, but you can't start too early on this. So yes, we'll need to talk about that very soon. Cobra Convergence 2021. Thank you, codename New2Vero2. I'm glad somebody thinks I slaughterized it. Somebody at least is on my side. Thank you very much. I appreciate everyone who has joined Cobra Convergence in the past, and I hope to just bring in even more people. Thank you to everyone who has participated, and please participate again. And if you haven't participated and you have a YouTube channel or a podcast, I will try to find you. Yeah, Cobra Convergence. It's a big thing. We all get together and talk about Cobra. Everybody creates Cobra content for, usually it's the month of July, but we kind of pushed it out to August in 2020. But I'll try to make it. I'll try to make it by Cobra Convergence 6, the Timur Relapse. Yeah, in the fourth iteration of Cobra Convergence, there was a slight mishap with our friend Timur, who went mad and stole half of everybody's collection with an Infinity Gauntlet. Tony, I would love to get Toy Galaxy in Cobra Convergence. Not an easy person to contact, but I would love to have him in. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people who will be interested in participating in Cobra Convergence. So this is just very, very early, very preliminary. But I'm gonna get into the planning phase here really quick, so we can get some invitations out to some creators, so they can maybe join the Convergence. So yeah, we're looking at it. It's still early, but it's something I look forward to every year. So I hope to make it fun, and I hope every year we can make it bigger and more fun. That is the goal, is to make it bigger and more fun every year. Cobra Convergence 6, it's revealed Timmer started COVID by eating cobra bats. That is pretty funny. I'll have to see what Timmer has to say about that. But hey, you know what it almost is time for? It almost is time for story time. This is actually number 1 in the series of Find Your Fate. Now, has everybody played this before? Anybody not played it before? I'll explain. I'll explain, okay? The way this works is at the bottom of certain pages, you get choices. And you get to control what the characters do. And when we get to one of those pages, I will give you the option of choosing which page you want us to turn to, which option you want to pick. And we'll do an entirely unscientific poll in the live chat. And I'll just pick which one looks like it wins. I'm not going to actually count in each individual vote. It's purely unscientific. But then we try to see if we can survive. Because on a lot of these, it's very dangerous, and you can actually die in these books. It can be a remarkably violent and morbid for a children's book, I have to say. So, oh hey, Painted Plastic, nice of you to join us. Nice to see you, Painted Plastic. Thank you for joining. I don't know if I said hello to Sean Beckett, but hello, Sean Beckett. I think What's on Joe Mind wants page 12. Thank you. Oh yeah, Joe Fest 2021. I'm really hoping that the pandemic is more under control by the time Joe Fest runs around, because I really miss Joe Fest. I miss the experience. Not so much just Joe Fest, but I miss the experience of getting together with our friends and having a nice time and being surrounded by G.I. Joe and talking about G.I. Joe. I miss that. I miss that very much. So I'm really hoping that Joe Fest works out this year. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Thank you for stopping by, Sergeant Slaughter's Slaughterhouse. See you back at the Slaughterhouse. Catch you later. So anyway, here's something for Beachhead Mike. I think I've showed this before. I have picked up a Funko Pop Beachhead, and as was featured prominently in the most recent review, I still have this thing out. I haven't put away all of the Sergeant Slaughter stuff, but the box, I did not open the box. It was already open, but the items are unassembled, and I'm going to leave them that way. SEO Tour Review says he had COVID and got off get off isolation tomorrow. Well, I'm glad that you didn't have a severe case and you're able to get out of isolation. Glad you survived. Make sure you get well soon. But sorry you had to go through that experience. It can be rough on a lot of people. So. Anyway, are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready for story time? I think we're ready. Okay, so I'm going to don my Professor Grandpa glasses. And I'm going to start with page 1. And let's see if we survive this time. Let's see if we survive, okay? Alright, here we go. It says, can't you move faster, Ripcord? What's your problem? Did you jump out of too many airplanes without a parachute? Blowtorch gives Ripcord a playful shove as you follow a group of Joes through the armored corridor. Where's the fire, Blowtorch? Ripcord replies, shoving him back. The other G.I. Joes laugh. You're walking through the second level of the pit, toward the briefing room. It's 0600 hours on Sunday morning. You can understand why your fellow G.I. Joes are a bit edgy. Why has Duke, your sergeant, called a briefing session at this hour? It must be important. You enter the low-ceilinged room and take your places around the long table. There are 7 of you waiting in silence for Duke to enter. Hey, I smell smoke, Mutt cries, jumping up from his seat. What's burning in there? So there's the illustration of people at a conference table. Not a lot of action yet, just people at a conference table. Turn to page 2. Smells like burning rubber, Airtight says, with a peculiar grin on his face. It's my boot! Mutt cries. He begins stamping his foot, trying to put out the fire. Airtight, you idiot! This is no time for your stupid practical jokes. Airtight falls off his chair laughing. The other G.I. Joes are laughing too, mainly because it didn't happen to them. Blowtorch doesn't laugh. Fire is not a joking matter to him. Mutt angrily leaps at Airtight, but Snake Eyes pulls him back with a simple flick of the wrist. Flick of the wrist. You shouldn't play jokes on Mutt, you tell Airtight, who is still laughing. Mutt spends so much time with dogs, he's likely to bite your leg. You're right, he gave his own mother rabies, Airtight shoots back. Everyone laughs, even Spirit, who usually disapproves of rowdiness. But the laughter stops immediately when Duke enters the briefing room. Time to get serious, guys, he says, rubbing a hand slowly through his short blonde hair. I've got a job for you. What's the mission? Turn to page 20. Page 20. I do have a feeling that we've read this one before, but that's okay. Well, one nice thing about these books is they can have different outcomes. You know, you make different choices, they have different outcomes. Okay. Duke switches on the slide projector and a face appears on the screen. It's the face of a man with wavy white hair, piercing blue eyes, and a short-cropped white mustache. The man is dressed in a long white lab coat. Sounds like he's describing Baron Ironblood, doesn't it? Anyway. This is Dr. Newton Fitzsimmons. I know we've read that before. I remember that name. He's an Australian scientist, and this is Dr. Fitzsimmons' invention. He clicks to the next slide. It shows a small red metal device. It doesn't look like much, does it? But it's a heavy-duty machine. What exactly is it, Sarge, you ask? It's called the Star Raider. It's a nuclear anti-missile device. It can be launched from any kind of space satellite. You better believe the boys in the Pentagon are real eager to see how this little beauty works. That's where we come in. We're going to borrow it from the scientists? Airtight asks. That's too simple, Duke says. We're not going to steal it. I wouldn't need you guys for that. No, it seems that the Defense Department has invited Dr. F to Washington. He's agreed to fly here and bring his plans for the Star Raider to show the big boys at the Pentagon, page 21. We still haven't gotten to an option yet, so sorry about that. And our job, you ask? Our job is to protect Dr. F during his visit to the U.S., Duke says. You see, I've left out one detail. Cobra, it seems, knows about the Star Raider, and Cobra also knows about the doctor's visit to Washington. My guess is they'll try anything to get those plans for themselves. You look around the table and the G.I. Joe team that will be with you on this mission: Snake Eyes, the silent master of the martial arts; Ripcord, the paratrooper; Blowtorch, the fire expert; Spirit, the soldier with special skills of a Native American medicine man; Airtight, whose specialty is chemical warfare and whose hobby is practical jokes; and Mutt, the feisty dog handler. Cobra should know better than to tangle with this group. Duke presents you with 2 different plans for protecting Dr. Fitzsimmons and his invention. As strategy specialist for the team, you're the strategy specialist. You will have to decide which plan to put into operation. Turn to page 4. Good grief. Wise Guy, for your eyes only. Operation Star Raider 2 Strategies, Plan A, in full view. Object, to throw Cobra off the track by doing what they least expect. Background, Fitzsimmons' plane will land at Kennedy Airport in New York. He will then be taken to Washington. Fitzsimmons will arrive. Why is he flying into New York? Why doesn't he just fly into Washington? Anyway, sorry. Got sidetracked. A giant parade in honor of all other of all the other parades that are held in the city is scheduled. It's a parade to honor parades. Don't try to hide strategy. Don't try to hide Dr. Fitzsimmons. Have him ride in the parade up Fifth Avenue with the mayor in full view of everyone. At the end of the parade route, the mayor gets out, the car continues on, accompanied by the Joe team, to the meeting place in Washington. Rationale, Cobra will be totally surprised. Also, it would be next to impossible for Cobra to kidnap Fitzsimmons from an official limo in the middle of a crowded parade. That's the plan? That's the plan. Is just to parade him up the street. Literally parade him up the street. Alright. Plan B is on page 5. Plan B, Mountain Retreat. Object, to get Dr. Fitzsimmons to the most hidden, secluded place possible. Background, Snake Eyes owns a small cabin in the high Sierras where he goes to escape from the world with his pet wolf. It is secret and secluded, and as far as is known, Cobra is unaware of it. Strategy, take Fitzsimmons directly from the plane to the hidden cabin in the mountains. Have the Defense Department officials meet with him there and see his plans, then fly him back to Australia. Rationale, he can be gotten in and out of the country without Cobra ever knowing where he is. Also, the mountain cabin would be easy to defend against attack if Cobra should happen to locate Fitzsimmons. So, we got 2 plans. Plan A is to parade him around. Plan B is to use Snake Eyes' cabin. Now, I don't know if they've asked Snake Eyes if he wants them to use their cabin. I guess he didn't voice any objections, so, they just decided it was okay. Snake Eyes, we're using your cabin. Is that okay? Yeah, fine. Okay, good. Okay, so if you want Plan A, type 54 in the chat and hit enter. If you want Plan B, type 62. Plan A, 54. Plan B, 62. Let's see what you got. So just type those numbers in. Which 54 or 62? Matt says we used Snake Eyes cabin last time. I think that's correct. I think we did that last time. Well, we got a vote for 62. We got 1 for 54. 62 is still winning. We got a little bit more for 54. We got a 12. Nice try. Nice try. We got some 54s. Believe it or not, I think 54 might win unless we get some more 62s. 54, what could go wrong? Let's see. I'm gonna say 54 edges out. Not by very much, but I think 54 has it. Let's give 54 a try. So I'm turning to 54. Page 54. Here we go. All right. Nice weather for a parade. Okay, nice weather for parade day, you say as you and the G.I. Joe team roar onto the runway at Kennedy Airport on turbo cycles. Hey, Blowtorch, what in blazes are you doing with that flamethrower? We were issued automatic pistols for this gig. Sue me. I'm an old-fashioned kind of guy, Blowtorch replies. You hear a roar above you. It's Ripcord, hovering over the runway in an unmarked skycopter. Skycopter? Okay. Here comes Dr. F, you say. You see a white-haired man walking down the steps carrying a small gray dog. You hop off your turbo cycle and run over to the scientist. This way, Doctor. We have a car waiting to take you to the parade in the city. Dr. Fitzsimmons smiles. He has been briefed on the plan. This is Franz, he says, holding the dog up to you. I never go anywhere without Franz. A few minutes later, your motorcade, Dr. F and Franz in the back of a stretch limo surrounded on all sides by G.I. Joes on turbo cycles. Turbo cycles. I assume they're talking about like the Silver Mirage. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Lazarus. What's a turbo cycle? I assume they're talking about the Silver Mirage. I guess. I don't know. Let's see. Where are we? A few minutes later, stretch limo, turbo cycle speeds down Grand Central Parkway toward Manhattan. Hey, wait a minute, you say to yourself. What are those men doing on that overpass up ahead? You go to page 55. You see a group of men carrying some sort of equipment on the overpass above the parkway. Are those high-powered rifles they have up there? You have only seconds to act. Should you put your turbo cycle into overdrive and roar up to the overpass to see what these men are up to? Or should you signal Ripcord in the skycopter to investigate? So, do you want to ride up yourself? Select 72. Signal Ripcord to investigate, page 11. So if you want to ride up in your turbo cycle, select 72. If you want Ripcord to investigate, select page 11. So let's see what we got. 72 or 11. Tron bikes. 11. We got a couple 11s. We got 3 11s, 4 11s. We got a bunch of 11s. Got a couple 72s. But 11 has pulled out to a substantial lead. I'll give it a couple more seconds. Put Ripcord to work. Wow, I think 11 has... Yeah, okay, 11 definitely wins that one. 11 won that one by a mile. So let's put Ripcord to work. Okay. All right, your eyes on the overpass ahead. You signal Ripcord on your helmet radio. A few seconds later, he calls down to report, "No sweat, wise guy, just a bunch of engineers with surveying equipment. Out." You breathe a sigh of relief as the motorcade speeds under the overpass. The rest of the trip to the city is uneventful. Soon after, you are introducing Dr. Fitzsimmons and Franz to the mayor of New York. Thousands of people line the sidewalks as the parade begins. It's a parade day parade. A marching band starts up a Sousa march as you help the scientist into the back of the limo next to the grinning mayor. Just wave to the crowd and enjoy the parade, you tell Dr. F. We'll be with you all the way. The driver pulls the limo beside the gigantic flowered float that depicts the Statue of Liberty standing on the top of the Empire State Building. You and the G.I. Joe team follow on your turbo cycles. This is a piece of cake, Blowtorch yells to you about halfway through the parade route. The crowd cheers and boos as the mayor's car slowly goes by. You are about to agree with your teammate when suddenly everything starts to go wrong. Page 85. Okay, let's see what goes wrong. You hear a loud squeal of tires. The mayor's limo suddenly swerves to the right. Look out! The car is going right into the crowd, someone screams. People frantically leap out of the way. The limo roars into a shrieking, horrified crowd. It crashes through a police barrier and keeps going down a side street. They're kidnapping Dr. Fitzsimmons, you scream to the others. You realize the limo driver must have been a Cobra agent. Let's go get him, you yell. But you have to go slowly to get through the crowd of shocked onlookers. Several injured people are lying on the street and people are trying to help them. It takes forever to get your cycles through the tangle of people, and when you finally do, the limo is out of sight. That's disturbing. Page 48. Oops, passed it. Okay, page 48. The limo seems to have slipped away from you guys, but I'm still tracking it. It's the voice of Ripcord coming through your helmet radio from the skycopter above. They're heading up Madison Avenue, about 50th Street, and they're moving. You guys better get the lead out. Over. You signal your fellow team members and throw your cycle into overdrive. Cars and taxis squeal out of your way as you blast your way up the avenue at full throttle. Soon, the limo comes into view a couple blocks up ahead. You pull out your auto pistol. There are too many people around and too many cars in the way to shoot at the escaping limo, and you certainly don't want to take the chance of hitting Dr. Fitzsimmons. They're headed into Central Park now. Nice day for a picnic, Ripcord reports. It won't be a picnic for them if we get there, you scream into the radio. What do they plan to do with Dr. Fitzsimmons in Central Park? Will you get there in time? You race... Okay, this page... now we're at page 49. You race up the Park Drive after the speeding limo. The joggers leap out of the way. The limo smashes through a wooden grandstand set up for a bike race and keeps right on going. It pulls right into the sheep meadow, the large grassy area at the center of the park. Look over there, Spirit yells. A Cobra helicopter. The limo screeches to a sudden stop. The back door is shoved open. The mayor, carrying a pistol, forces Dr. F out of the car. The mayor is obviously an imposter, a Cobra agent in a very convincing disguise. The real mayor must be in Cobra's clutches right now. Your companions leap off their turbo cycles and raise their weapons. Hold your fire, you scream. You might hit Dr. F. You hear a loud roar overhead. An army skycopter is landing right next to you. I took the liberty of ordering up some transportation for you guys, you hear Ripcord say through the radio in your helmet. It could be time for a chase scene. Ripcord may be right. You watch as the limo driver and the fake mayor shove Dr. F into the Cobra helicopter. Suddenly, the scientist's dog leaps out of Dr. F's arms and scampers away. Franz! Franz! Dr. F cries. Page 14. Okay, we got some choices at the end of this page. The Cobra agents ignore Fitzsimmons' pleas to retrieve the dog. The helicopter door closes behind them, and the Cobra chopper lifts off the ground, kicking up a swirl of dirt. Suddenly, Airtight runs after the chopper. I'm going to hold on to the runner. I'll be waiting for him when they land. Airtight, you hot dog, you scream, pulling him back. I'll work out the strategy for this operation, and holding on to a helicopter runner is not it. We got to get that dog back, Mutt yells. I got a feeling the dog's real important, wise guy. Let the rest of the team chase after him in the skycopter. We'll get the dog and then catch up. We've got to decide what to do, fast. Should you forget about the dog and order all 6 of you to pursue the Cobra kidnappers, or is it possible that Mutt is right? Maybe Dr. Fitzsimmons brought the dog along for a reason. If so, you could let Spirit, Snake Eyes, Blowtorch, and Airtight follow the kidnappers in the skycopter while you and Mutt go after the dog. Okay, so first of all, here's an illustration. That's supposed to be the Cobra copter, even though it looks a lot like a dragonfly. Here are your options. You ready? Ready for more options? Okay. If you want to go after the dogs, type 28. Go after the dog, 28. Or forget about the dog and go after the Cobra Copter instead, page 44. So if you want to get the dog, page 28. If you want to forget the dog, page 44. 28 or 44. 28 or 44. Make your selections. Make them wisely. While you're selecting, I'll show you the illustration one more time. Cobra Chopper. Let's see. Lots of 28s and 28s and 28s and 28s. And it's like only there's only a couple 44s. I'll give it a couple more seconds. Let's see if 44 catches up. Let's see, 28, 28, 28. Still trying to get 12. There's nothing on page 12. 44. I think 28 won that one. I think 28 won pretty handily. So I'm going to go to 28. 28. Okay. Curiosity. Okay. Whew. Okay. More reading. Here we go. Okay, Mutt, I must be out of my ever-loving mind, but let's go after that dog. You yell over the roar of the Cobra helicopter as it lifts away. The rest of you guys get going after that chopper. They run to the sky chopper. A few seconds later, they lift off in pursuit of the kidnapped scientist. You and Mutt run across the sheep meadow, asking picnickers and sunbathers if they've seen a gray terrier. No one can remember seeing one. Then suddenly you see the dog digging in the dirt in front of a metal fence. Quick, you cry to Mutt. If that dog gets under the fence and escapes into the trees, we'll never find him. Franz, Mutt calls gently. Don't worry, wise guy. I know how to talk to dogs. Franz, here, Franz. The dog stops its frantic digging and turns around. Mutt keeps talking softly as he approaches. The dog stares back at him without moving. There, I've got you, boy. Mutt picks up the dog. The dog licks his face. You breathe a sigh of relief. Okay, Mutt, you got a soft assignment now. Take Franz back to the pit for safekeeping. I'm going after Dr. F now. Turn to page 50. 50, 50, 50, 50. All right. People scramble out of the way as Ripcord brings the skycopter down in the middle of the sheep meadow. Need a lift, soldier? He yells. You climb into the chopper. Let's get going, you tell him. The Cobra agents have a head start, but we'll catch up to them. You pull a small radio device from your pocket. I put a transmitter and a microphone on Dr. F before he climbed into the limo. Let's see if we can let's see what we can pick up. The tracer is working. They're heading north, you say. But the mic isn't picking up anything. Maybe they're too far away. Ripcord guides the skycopter directly north. After a while, you're flying over thick forests near the New York-Vermont border. Hey, look down there. It's some hotel, Ripcord yells. You look down and you see two sheer rock cliffs divided by a wide blue river. Standing on one cliff is a tall fortress of stone and steel. Trees grow almost to the edge of the other. You look at the readout from the tracking device. Cobra's got the doctor in that fortress, you say. I knew Cobra had a hidden fortress up here. The place is not going to be easy to crack. Page 51. We have more options at the end of page 51. Yay. Okay. Where do you want to land, wise guy? You can't float we can't float around up here all day. We're likely to get blasted, Ripcord says, his eyes on the gray fortress below. You've got an important decision to make. Should you land on the side of the cliff the fortress is on, or should you land on the river, land across the river on the side with the trees? Landing on the forest side would be easier than landing in the trees. What? Hold on. Landing on the forest side would be easier than landing in the trees. Okay, but on the other hand, the trees will give you cover in case Cobra is expecting you. All right. On the fortress side. Okay, all right, I got it. So we got fortress or forest. Fortress or forest. Clayton Lawrence, hi. So if you want to land on the fortress side, select option 75. If you want to land on the forest side, select 6. 75 to land on the fortress side, 6 to land on the forest side. 75, fortress side, 6, forest side. 75 or 6. 75 or 6. Lots of 75s. Got any 6? Not 69. 6, lots of 75s. At least we're being decisive. At least this time we're being decisive. Well done, guys. Because I think 75 is pulling out ahead. Yeah, I think 75 is going to take this one. All right. Totally unscientific. I'll give it a couple more seconds to see if 6 catches up. But it looks like it's probably going to be 75 here. $1. Okay, I'm going with 75. 75. This was a long one. We've survived for quite a while. That's good. 75. Where's our other skycopter, you ask? We better find out where the others landed. That's 75, right? Where the others landed before we decide where to come down. Ripcord tries to raise them on the radio, but there's no reply. No signal at all. Looks like we're on our own, wise guy, Ripcord says. Well, I feel lucky today, Ripcord. Bring her down as near to the fortress as you can. We're going in with our machine guns blazing. Okay, maybe we'll take them by surprise, Ripcord says, guiding the chopper down. They're probably not accustomed to anyone being that stupid. I mean brave. The gray steel fortress shines into the sunlight as your skycopter lowers into the afternoon sky. Will you land safely? Page 64. Hey, look out, Ripcord yells suddenly, pulling your chopper up. They got rocket launchers, a whole wall of them. Kaplow! Kaplow! Ripcord tries to maneuver the chopper away, but you are too near the fortress. The rocket launchers are locked on target. You cannot escape the deadly rocket fire. Your luck has run out. Cobra has blasted you out of the sky. Well, will they soon have Dr. Fitzsimmons' plans to make their victory complete? You'll never know. The end. We died. Not only did we die, we took Ripcord with us. Not only did we die, we took Ripcord with us. So, we didn't win that one, but I feel like it was a good time. I feel like it was a good time. I feel like we were decisive. We got pretty far. But it is actually 8 o'clock now, so it is time to wrap up the live stream. So I am going to wrap it up. It's been a long day for me, but I'm really happy to have a chance to talk with you guys again. That's the main reason I like to do these live streams, is just to talk with you guys. So thank you for being here. Thanks to everyone for being here. I will do my best. I will really, really try, cross your fingers and knock on wood, and, I will really, really try to, do another live stream next week, and we'll try to have stuff to talk about. And, I just like, hopefully we'll have a chance to hang out with you guys. So, anyway, at that, I am going to say thank you and good night. I hope everybody has a good week, and I will catch you all later. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.